What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, back for another video. And excuse the lighting. I don't know what's going on. I had somebody actually finally come in and cut off that horrible mess I made of my hair during home quarantine haircuts. Word to the wise, never try to cut your own hair because then you're going to end up with a hell of a mess. So he cleaned it up, he fixed it up, and he happened to be a photographer or a videographer. Messed with my camera settings, and now I don't know what the hell's going on, people. So you'll have to excuse me for a couple episodes until I fix everything or pay somebody to come fix it. But until then, I still got some fantastic things for you, like my first ever Amazon Q&A. So no question is safe. We're gonna jump into a heck of a lot of things, like the brand new thing that I'm doing right now where I'm making hundreds of dollars a day, sitting from my computer, pushing a button to buy things. I'm going to talk about that in this actual video. And I'm also going to show and feature a question from a subscriber that subscribed almost 4 years ago and since then has sold his Amazon business and had a tremendous amount of success. Why? Because he sat here and listened to me ramble and blunder about nonsense. So I'm about to start that. I'm about to jump into the nonsense. So if you're ready, I know I'm ready. Let's go ahead and jump straight in. All right, so here we are with our first question, and let's see what happens. I don't know, I've never done this before, so let's see how it goes. This is from LJS. It says, "Hi Liz, thank you for all you do for us. I'm sorry about your mom, I get it. Thank you, LJ, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I adore mine to the moon. Liz, I bought 4 pairs and put them up on eBay. I'm just curious, did you sell the batch you bought? With all the fees, I'm not sure it will be profitable, but I'm trying it. Smiles, LJ." All right, so this one's about shoe reselling, and I know a lot of people are like, they don't know that much about it, but let me tell you my formula for always having almost 100% success on shoes. First and foremost, you want to only take shoes that you can sell for 3x. So what does that mean? That means if I pay 22 for a shoe, I want to make sure that the shoe's selling for at least 66. The same applies for Amazon, and that's kind of how I've always had success on Amazon. Anytime you make something, you want to make 3x on the actual product. That way you get at least 33% guaranteed margin, at least, right? With eBay, since you only have 10% fees, you're going to get a lot higher than 33%, but on Amazon, that's what you'll get. Now, the second tip, LJ, is that when you're in store looking up these shoes, take a look at what has sold on eBay, look at the number of listings that have sold on eBay, and then check how many actual listings are live, and divide the two. That is your sell-through ratio. Now, a product that is extremely lucrative and very sexy to sell is, I will give you an example. This past week, I sold 4 sewing machines, and there were times when there were maybe 6 sewing machine listings live, and yet hundreds and hundreds sold for one particular model. That is a hell of a sell-through, and that I know is going to sell almost 100% of the time. So the second thing that you do want to do is you want to take a look at how many size, the same size that you found, have sold, and how many of that size is live. If hardly any have sold in the size that you found, and there's like 10 live for that size, then your chances are almost slim to none to sell. So just take those few tips and you should be able to be on your way to selling. And now the last one and final one is for any type of retail arbitrage or reselling. If you have a bad week, if you find nothing out there, it doesn't matter. It's just a game of luck sometimes. The harder you work, the luckier you get. There are days where I've gone 8 hours sourcing and found nothing. And there were times when I was forcing to buy things just because I hadn't bought anything. But there will be days where you will find more than you can actually afford to buy. So sit and wait for those days, because those days make your months and those months make your years. So hopefully that answered you, LJ, and thank you for the question. Next question is this guy right here. It's ZOdd. And basically he says he had a problem with the KDB coloring book. He needs help. You inspired me to get into publishing books after I got rejected 2 times by merch. So I did this tropical mandala coloring book and published it last week. But since then my book never shows up on Amazon search the way people are never going to find it. I put the necessary keywords in the back end, a good description. Only in the US market, even the author page is not showing up, but in the Amazon UK, everything looks normal and it's showing up in the search result, and the author page is showing up too, so you can tell why this is happening. How can you fix it? So he gives a link to the actual book. Now, here's what I'm going to say this much. A lot of people have this problem, but here's the thing, people, and I want you to understand this, and I'm telling you this just because I don't want you to set your actual expectations to be up here, when in reality, it is a grind to make sales. Now, just because you put the right keywords in the back end and just because you optimize the title and all that good stuff does not mean you're going to show up. Remember, if you go back and look at my actual results video where they tricked us, even if we look at actual searches that only have less than a couple hundred results, the odds that we still show up on the first 20 pages does not mean we're going to show up at all, right? Now, we don't really truly know the number of results to show up, and the only way that you can get sales is by actually making Amazon or making people that you're aware. So the two biggest things you can do is number one, have an awesome front cover. And I'm still guilty of not being able to achieve that a lot of the times. I do a better job than most of the graphic artists, and I completely suck at graphics. That goes to show you the level of talent out there, the level of skill. So try and find good talent is number one. And number two is you have to learn advertising. So next week, I will start hammering it in with advertising, but you have to learn a way to market your shit in addition to just putting good keywords in there, because those are not going to sell. And I've heard so many people say, oh, I can't sell this, I can't sell that. Well, there's a reason you can't sell it. It's because you aren't marketing. Selling things is all about being a good marketer. So I will jump into that next week. So let's go to the next question. Here is Marlene. She says, binge watching Hurricane Liz. Have 3 slightly off-topic questions. What amount of pages is best for coloring books and activity books? And does this include blank pages? All right, so the answer to that is it just depends. I usually go into the niche and I look to see what do my competitors do, what do the top competitors do in terms of number of pages, and then I usually duplicate that. I take a look at the average amount and then I dupe that. Second question is, also she says, does this count blank pages? It usually does, because usually everybody does have a blank page, particularly for coloring books, because of the fact that if you use marker, it's going to seep through. What template to use for the cover since the cover size fluctuated? I go inside of Kindle and I tell Kindle how many pages it has and whether it's black or white or color, and then I tell them the size and they spit out the unique template for me. So there's an actual page, there's an actual help section in Kindle that will do that for you. All right, let's see. Do you leave the back of each page blank? Yes, I do, Marlene. So absolutely. Next question up. Your advice is important. I just did you and KDP and I made 1 book from your previous video and I don't know how I made 10 sales. Of course, I made advertising. Ding, ding, ding. Abu, you the man, dude. Right there. High five. All right, here's the next one. It says, Liz, thank you for sharing your tips. You honestly will be paid back fully, but I've got a question. Is it worth selling books with $2 revenue compared to merch where you get $2.25? Well, it just really depends, Vasya. It depends on what you like to do. Like if you like merch better than Kindle, then just do merch. Whichever one that you like. There's a lot of people that can hammer out hundreds and hundreds of merch listings, and some people that can hammer out the KDP one. So whatever you like, do it. If you're already in both, I would probably go with merch since it's easier to hammer out designs. But remember that KDP can really make you a huge amount of money if you get a viral book, but that's the key. All right, so the next one, Orand asks, hey Liz, have you ever done a video or talked about the pros and cons of using merch by Amazon versus Printful? No, I have not, because I just use merch. I mean, I'm lazy. I'm already on so many platforms that I don't like to use Printful, but I do know a lot of people that have a tremendous amount of success. Now remember, you can integrate Printful with Amazon to where Printful, through their app, they just quickly zap your listings over to Amazon. So I would actually certainly be into trying if I had more time, but I got to divide my time among the things that I do best. And right now, print on demand outside of Amazon is not one of them. So sorry about that, Orand. Here's Michael. I've tried joke books, coloring books, and every type and hardly any sales. I believe it's impossible to break into the best-selling books. I think you're being over-optimistic, to put it mildly. I'm not, Michael, but you have to have a budget for advertising. You saw Abu there. He had a tremendous amount of success. I'm not going to lie to you and say you can put up any old book and it's going to sell thousands and thousands of dollars. You're going to have to put some elbow grease in it, and it's a lot more elbow grease than doing keywords, doing covers, and doing title optimizations. It's called advertising. That's all I can say about that. All right, here's DeeDee Zim. And DeeDee Zim, this is basically, he was talking about that I made a mistake in one of my actual Amazon advertising videos, and I told him, awesome. That's something that I actually learned in a $3,000 course. So I did send him an Instagram message, and I did invite him to come on this actual channel to teach us the proper way to set up an advertising campaign. Since then, I haven't heard from him, so hopefully he's watching this video and he can reach back out to me. But I have run a bunch of experiments and talked to a lot of PPC experts since then, and as a result, I will be launching a new PPC series next week. You guys will be the first to see that, so I'm pumped for that. All right, so Heather says, and I'm going to just actually TLDR this because it's kind of long. So basically, Heather says she cannot find her books. She's watched videos. She's done all sorts of things that people say now, but she can't find her books. And again, going back to the same thing that I'm going to go into, which I started to sound like a broken record, you've got to do some advertising, people. Now, what does that include? That includes internal Amazon PPC. That includes Facebook ads. That includes ManyChat funnels. That even includes techniques like lowering your price to the point where you maybe make a cent or two for a while until the book gains traction, and then hiring the price. So there are a ton of different techniques that you can use. You just have to have the balls to just go in there guns blazing and try it out. That's all it really takes, is take a chance on some of this stuff. All right, next one is an excellent question, and it probably wins my question of the week. So I'm going to have to come up with a prize to give people that do the question of the week. But what is your favorite way to use rubber chickens? Oh, wow. I asked that. Holy shit. That was a great question. My favorite way, as I showed you guys earlier, is to stir them in their own stew. It's an awesome way to do it. It's great to cook with. You can have your book there. One of them will hold it up while the other stirs the other one that's in the pot. It's fantastic. Next question is, awesome entertainment. Love you guys. You're so cute when you drink. Thank you, Kim. I'm going to have to find more excuses to drink more. You guys could not imagine what a party I am when I drink. That's how I got the name Hurricane. I'll have to tell you more stories later. But thanks for that, Kim. Eddie says, interesting. Next time, mix your vodka with soda and ice, not just a vodka shot. Thank you for that, Eddie. I sort of figured that out about halfway into when I was drunk already and stumbling upon my words, mumbling and doing all sorts of crazy shit. So thanks for that. I could have used that tip early on, buddy. Where were you, Eddie? All right, Daniel says, I love the new vodka format. So a lot of people liking this actual vodka format. And it's always fun to see what keeps you busy during the lockdown. I remember arts and crafts, plants, and you nearly got a rubber chicken. I did get a rubber chicken. So what else have I been doing during the actual whole quarantine? Well, one thing that I've been into heavy and really extremely heavy is reselling. And I'm talking about buying things on Amazon, buying things on Walmart and reselling them in eBay. And next week or the week after, I will get into a whole new series about how you can do this too. In fact, I just sold 4 sewing machines this last week and I made about $100 and on each of those. So I will show you guys how I'm doing that as well as how you can do it. I've got a brand new group that's going live. It's going to be free for the first few months for anyone that wants to join, where it's doing exactly that. So next question, Ari says, I'm a children's book author and illustrator, and this is an old one because I will say this much about Ari. He asked, do I use BoostRooster for Amazon Direct? I cannot use BoostRooster for Amazon Direct, Ari. That's why I had to make my very own chatbot. And that's pretty much it, like BoostRooster, FBA, but not Amazon Direct. It's a shame, and there's really no way to verify when somebody's purchased it on KDP, so that's kind of why I had to create my own one. And just to let you guys know, Ari does have an anti-racism book that was in the top 100 Amazon, so he's a pretty good illustrator, and he kind of knows what he's doing. Caitlyn says, you inspired me a few years ago, and I started an Amazon business, which I sold last fall. Hells to the yeah, right? Now I'm searching for new products to launch, and since I'm a photographer, I'm trying to find out more about the merch program and also about Kindle just to round my earnings up. I have a good friend who owns an art school and I think we can make a joint venture. Looking forward to seeing more videos. Also, do you have experience with, yes, I do, Caitlin, have experience with Amazon KDP. And congratulations, I think that's freaking awesome that somebody actually listened to me here blabbering and blundering on YouTube, followed through and sold their business, people. So congrats. Caitlyn, I wish you all the success and so much more. And that's pretty much a wrap for the first ever Amazon Q&A. So I want you guys to tell me, how did you like this format? Would you like to see more like this in the future, moving forward? And as always, put your questions and comments down below. I will, more than likely, if I like the question, I'll screen grab it and I'll put it in a future video. But until then, keep on asking. I'll keep on blabbering and blundering, and hopefully you too can have as much success as Caitlyn did and many other people out there that are listening to all the rambling that I do. So I will see you guys on the next video.